Stop everything. Imagine a watch you could have bought for pocket money now costing the price of a small island. Tonight we're investigating the crime scene, the watches we wish we could buy again, if prices hadn't gone absolutely bonkers.
Or as I call it, that thing I definitely didn't sell my soul for. Yet. Hi, I'm Dec, professional at finding watches I can't afford and making excuses that sound like investment strategies.
I'm Glen, the man who reads serial numbers for fun and files complaints with the universe about bezel inflation. Tonight we'll expose why scarcity is sometimes manufactured, why influencers are the new auctioneers, and why your safe is now a very expensive paperweight.
Quick teaser, we'll name the models that used to be sensible, roast the people who buy watches as assets, answer a message from Callum in Dundee, and attempt a holy grail showdown where feelings and bank balances collide.
Also, Declan vows not to buy any more watches this year. He says it on air. The watch gods are already laughing.
That's a lie I'm going to try very hard to keep, for at least 5 minutes.
Right, buckle up. If you've ever looked at a watch and thought, I'd buy that again if I hadn't sold my soul, this episode is for you. If you're here to learn why prices exploded, stay tuned. If you're here for the chaos, you're in the right place.
Also, if anyone from an AD is listening, I'm only here for research. Definitely research.
Let's begin. First, how did a tool for telling time become a status symbol that costs more than a small car? Why prices exploded? Let's be blunt. Two forces, demand and manufactured scarcity. In my view, demand rose because watches became both passion and perceived asset. Social media turned wrist shots into investment tips.
Translation. Influencers made watches look like blue-chip stocks with better lighting.
Then dealers and brands tightened allocations. Waiting lists, selective distribution, and limited runs create artificial scarcity. When supply is constrained and demand surges, prices spike.
It's like a nightclub for watches. Sorry, you're not on the list. Then some bloke on the internet sells you the same watch for 3 times the cover charge.
Add speculators who buy to flip, and you get a market where the secondary price is divorced from the watch's intrinsic value. That's why a model that cost €3,000 5 years ago can be €15,000 today.
And people call it investment. I call it expensive shelf decor.
There's also brand strategy. Some brands intentionally limit production to preserve exclusivity. That's a legitimate choice, but it has consequences. Genuine enthusiasts get priced out, and the hobby becomes a spectator sport for the wealthy.
So the moral of the story, if you want a watch to wear, buy what you love. If you want a watch to flip, bring a spreadsheet and a poker face.
And if you want both, good luck. You'll need it.
Right, let's name names. The ones we buy again if the price tags weren't written by a committee of very optimistic accountants.
Think discontinued steel sports pieces, certain Nautilus and Royal Oak references, vintage Submariners, and boutique models that were under the radar a few years ago. These were sensible buys once. Now they're speculative trophies.
Remember when a steel sports watch didn't require a second mortgage? Those were the days. Now you need a convincing sob story and a good accountant.
The pattern is the same. Quality design, limited supply, social proof, and then a market that runs away. The unfortunate result is that collectors who want to wear these watches are often shut out.
And then you get people who never wear them. They sit in safes like tiny, expensive paperweights. I'm sad.
Which is tragic. A watch is meant to be worn. It's a tool, a story, a memory. When it becomes purely an asset, the soul goes missing.
Soul aside, I still want one. Preferably with an orange dial and a forgiving return policy.
Now, we have another question from our fan. Callum from Dundee in Scotland wrote in. He found the podcast by chance, loves it, and wants advice. He's got a small collection and asks, how do I buy something that won't be a speculative mess?
Also, I must admit, he asked you to slag me by chance. Callum, top lad. Roast accepted.
Well, to give you a practical advice, focus on fundamentals, look for solid build quality, reputable movements, serviceability, and a design you'll enjoy for years. Avoid hype unless you're comfortable with volatility.
And if you're buying vintage, get it checked. Service history matters. A cheap vintage watch with a tired movement can become an expensive restoration project. It happened to one of my third cousins twice removed.
Consider brands with transparent service networks and parts availability. Think about the watch's story. Does it resonate with you? That's more important than short-term price moves.
Also, diversify. Don't put all your horological eggs in one basket. Unless the basket is a Patek, then maybe put 2, 3 eggs.
Callum, thanks for the message. Keep the slag coming. It keeps Dec humble and our audio levels interesting. Now, time for the challenge. I've prepared something special. We ask each other, what's your holy grail watch? What would you buy next under 10,000 euros? What under 5,000 euros? Strong justification required. Dec, you go first.
Holy Grail? Glen, are you really into the Bible? Ha ha. If you mean a watch, well, let me think. I'd go for a complicated Patek. Perpetual calendar with moon phase. Why? It's the mechanical equivalent of a cathedral. Complexity, finishing, and history all in one. Also, it makes you whisper, sorry, to your bank account.
That's aspirational. My holy grail is a historically significant chronograph from a respected maker. Something with provenance and a movement that tells a story. I value technical pedigree and a design that ages like good whiskey. I'd go for Zenith El Primero Chronomaster Sport, 41mm silver dial. It comes with a refined blend of heritage and innovation.
Breaking news. Local man admits to loving Zenith more than relatives. More at 12 o'clock.
In terms of technical pedigree, this watch was introduced in 1969. The El Primero, meaning the first in Spanish, was the world's first integrated automatic chronograph movement. Instead of stacking a modular mechanism onto an existing base, Zenith engineered it from scratch.
You have impressive knowledge, Glen. So, under 10,000 euros, I'd buy a modern sports watch from a respected independent, but not Lidl or Aldi. I value in-house movements, great finishing, and personality. It's the sweet spot for quality without the waiting list nonsense. I'd definitely buy something for just under 10 grand and keep the change to go for a pint. My choice of the moment is Gran Seiko Mount Iwate, Heritage 40mm. It's priced around 8,000 euros. The specs? Mechanical spring drive, high beat options, superb finishing all round.
Under 10,000 euros, I'd look at a well-specified chronograph or a high-quality diver with a proven movement and service support. Prioritize long-term serviceability over hype. Actually, I'd go for Ulysses Nardin Marine Chronometer. It's priced well under 10,000 euros.
Why?
Because UN offers maritime heritage, enamel and textured dials, and finishing that sits above mainstream brands.
Okay, under 5,000 euros. I go for a proper tool watch, robust diver or field watch with a reliable automatic movement and great loom. Wearability and durability matter more than resale.
Which is
Doxa Sub 300. We recently did a video on Horology Guide about Doxa. I like this brand. I'd pick it as it comes with iconic dive heritage, chunky tool watch ergonomics, and one of the best orange dial options if you want instant wrist presence. The Sub 300 platform is built for real diving, has excellent loom, and a distinctive wearable 42.5mm.
under 5,000 euros, I'd recommend a watch with a proven movement, solid finishing, and classic design. Brands in this range offer excellent value. Focus on serviceability and parts availability.
Can you reveal your preference?
Longines Hydro Conquest. Classic, modern diver styling with very good finishing for the price, solid water resistance, and strong loom. It's a practical, everyday diver that reads as premium without the premium price.
So, let's do a quick recap. Holy Grail is craft and story. 10,000 euros is in-house quality and personality. 5,000 euros is value and wearability.
And remember, the best watch is the one you'll wear. A watch in a safe is a missed opportunity.
But remember, life is more than horology. When I'm not buying watches, I shouldn't. I do photography. Terrible DIY, and pretend I can cook. My cooking hobby is mostly smoke alarms and improvisation.
I read about movement architecture, cycle, and attempt to keep houseplants alive. My plants are on a strict regimen of neglect and passive encouragement.
Irish banter time. Every watch meet in Dublin ends with someone promising to just look and leaving with a new strap and a mortgage application.
I'll just pop in is the most dangerous 3 words in watch collecting.
Also, weather logic. Raining, buy a diver. Sunny, buy a dress watch. Both, buy both and blame the climate.
Right now, time for the spectacular unexpected event. Dec, you made a vow earlier to stop buying watches this year. Care to repeat it for the listeners?
I vow, on this podcast, to not buy any more watches this year. No impulse buys. No, just one more. I'm done.
Noble. I'll be your accountability partner. I'll text your wife.
Don't you dare.
I will absolutely dare. Excuse me.
Glen, I need to take it. It's probably my dog again.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is unplanned. I told Dec to turn off his phone. Instead, it went full spy movie, dramatic vibrations, urgent whisper, and a plot twist where Dec's vow is immediately compromised. Bond would be proud.
That's my phone. It's the AD. They're saying my new watch is ready for collection.
Silence. You what?
I did not say yes to that. I did not. I swear. This is a test. A cosmic test.
You vowed, on air, and now the universe is like, hold my crown jewels.
I'm going to pretend I didn't hear it. I'm going to pretend the call was a wrong number. I'm going to pretend I'm allergic to impulse purchases.
I won't tell your wife. I'll tell her you're researching for the podcast. That's a valid excuse.
It is. Also, if anyone from the AD is listening, I deny everything.
This is why we love you, Dec. You make vows and then provide live entertainment when they fail.
Consider this a public service announcement. Never make vows on a podcast. The watch gods are listening.
Emergency broadcast. Declan's phone just rang and the watch gods demanded a sacrifice.
That was not a sacrifice. That was a delivery notification. For research.
Research? You ordered a watch and called it fieldwork.
It's ethnography. I'm studying the mating habits of limited editions.
Spoiler. They mate with your bank account.
My bank account consented. It signed a waiver.
Your wife will want to see that waiver, preferably before Christmas.
Fine. I'll bring the waiver and the watch. One will explain itself better than the other.
The watch will be punctual. The waiver will be late. Typical. Okay, dokie. Time to wrap up, folks. That's episode 9, The Watches We Wish We Could Buy Again. If you enjoyed the chaos, subscribe to Horology Guide for more quality content about watches, history, and the occasional moral failing.
If you've got requests, specific watches, comparisons, or a deep dive into why bezels are secretly dramatic, drop them in the comments. We read everything. Glen reads everything. I skim and then buy a watch.
Shout out to Callum in Dundee. Thanks for finding us by chance and for the roast. Keep the messages coming. We'll answer on air and roast Dec mercilessly. Final thought from Glen, the responsible one. Buy what you love, not what the algorithm tells you to love. Unless the algorithm is telling you to buy a watch that makes you smile, then maybe listen to the algorithm. See you next week for more nonsense, more watch talk, and more accidental confessions we absolutely didn't mean to record.
Bye everyone, and if anyone from the AD is listening, I'm coming in tomorrow. For research. Definitely research.